As we mentioned, we're going to step back in time today on 8 West, back to the 1950s when there were a lot of fears of nuclear war as tensions grew between the United States and the Soviet Union.
All over the country and right here in West Michigan, many homeowners and businesses added fallout shelters as a safe place of refuge. Some of those are actually still in existence today.
So we are taking you off limits, underground, inside a bomb shelter at a home in Edmore that's gone pretty much untouched for years. We're inside a Victorian home located in Edmore. It was built in the early 1900s, and we're talking with the owner, Dana Macklin. Dana, this house actually has a few hidden secrets.
Yes, it does. It has something that most homes don't have, and that is it has a true 1950s bomb shelter.
Interesting. You lived here most of your life.
Yes, I did. I grew up in this house since I was 5.
Wow. Okay, so you've actually agreed to show us
Yes.
this really, really cool fallout shelter.
I thought it'd be fun for everyone to see what a real bomb shelter looks like.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, come on, follow me.
So this is Dana's basement and the entrance to the fallout shelter.
Yes, there was several kinds of entrances. You could either go outside and enter through what they would have like cellar door entrances, or you could go down like a entrance to a submarine, follow a ladder down, and then go in the chamber. But in this case, you will actually enter from the basement, so you don't even have to go outside and get into radiation or any of the fallout. So come on, I'll show you how to go inside.
Okay.
What do you think?
Here we go.
Follow me. Don't forget the duck.
Wow, this is so cool. And actually pretty large by the standards of fallout shelters.
At the time, yes. This one is actually 14 feet long by 6.5 feet tall. And it's actually made out of boiler steel. And then that way it's very strong and it's worthy of anything such as shock waves or whatever. Up to 8 people can stay in this chamber alone, but you notice there's only 4 beds, so you would shift back and forth between sleeping and staying awake. But it also has everything you need. It's got its own fresh water supply. It's got its own system for if you need to use the bathroom facilities or whatever. And so you're all safe and comfy in here until the fallout is done.
Okay, so if this is so secure and safe, and we're underground, of course, how would someone be able to breathe and get fresh air?
Ah, that's a good point. Right over here we have an air pump that would actually pull air through 6 radiation filters, and when it comes in here, it can completely change the air in this chamber in just 7 minutes. So you're always going to have fresh air. If the power should go out, it also has a handle on that, so you can crank it, it becomes a generator and an air pump. So you never have to worry about being without lights or air.
Well, Dana, I know that in the process of doing some research about this fallout shelter, you made a really interesting discovery of the company that actually made this.
Yes, I was very shocked to find out that this is actually an Amway bomb shelter from Amway right out there in Grand Rapids.
Really?
Yes, Dick DeVos and Jay Van Andel actually have the company that built this. I was very shocked.
That's really interesting. You know, not every house can say that they have their own fallout shelter, but of course, here we are inside one. It's off limits right here at a home in Edmore. Wow, so it was really neat. For me, not a lot of experience with bomb shelters, fallout shelters. It was a different time, so it was really interesting to go with Dana inside. He has amassed so much information. He's a historian at heart, and so he's learned so much about the time, and of course the one that's in his home. He actually was able to find out it was made by Amway because he found the name, called, and learn the history.
Wow.
They were able to help him too and send him some information, and we're going to actually talk about that a little bit later in the show.
Okay, I do have to ask, were you a little creeped out? Was it claustrophobic? I know sometimes if I'm on a long elevator ride or something like that, I mean, I'll get a little feeling like I'm all closed in, but boy, being underground like that, did you feel creeped out at all?
Absolutely, and I'm not typically a claustrophobic person. I think it's just that feeling of going underneath the earth and being in a tomb of a sort.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the way to put it.
And there's not that light you feel limited with the air, even though that one is equipped with air and
Right.
lights and plumbing, but still a little bit strange. Can you imagine what people would have experienced if they had to spend long periods of time?
Yeah.
And that one was actually a pretty nice one. There's some real basic ones too.
Yeah, well, and you actually feel very grateful that you'd have a place like that because you know that everything that's above the Earth's surface is probably not going to survive, or at least survive in the same way.
Dana
Wow.
had told me actually it's not just the nuclear fallout. It's actually from other people coming and perhaps if
Trying
it
to-
was a survival
Yeah.
situation, that you might have to protect yourself and be closed in because who knows what could happen in a situation like
Wow,
that.
it's almost hard to think about.
Yeah, I know. So a little bit later in the show, we're going to revisit Dana's home and the shelter, and we're going to talk about some of the other things that were actually left inside, some of the food.
Okay.
How would you have food?
Yeah.
What would you survive on? Some other tools and gadgets that made life or would make life in a prolonged existence underground in that shelter bearable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Okay, well, we've got a lot of great information straight ahead on 8 West. We'll be right back.
Your all-access pass to everything West Michigan.